Hi everyone, it's Marina here from Brava Virtual and welcome to today's tutorial on creating dynamic drop-down lists in Excel. In the last tutorial we used simple drop-down lists to populate the make field of our car dealership worksheet. If you haven't already watched that tutorial, I suggest you do so before this one. For this tutorial we're going to look at populating the model field of the worksheet. And here we want to create lists that are relevant to the make of the car. So for example, if we have a Toyota make, we only want to see Toyota models. If we have an Opel make, we only want to see Opel models, and so on. To do that, I'm going to go to my lists worksheet and I'm going to create a separate list for each make of car. I'm going to leave a one column difference between each one so that Excel doesn't see them as a single table. And in each of these lists, I'm going to list the models of car that we have. So we'll just say we have Fiesta, Focus and Mondeo for the Fords. For Nissan, we have Duke and Qashqai. For Opel, we have Astra, Corsa and Zafira. And for Toyota, we have Auris, Yaris and Prius. And now we need to name these lists. We need to define the names of them. So to do that, I'm going to, for example, for my Ford list, I'm going to select all of the items in that list. And in my name box, I'm going to type Ford and enter. Okay. So if I highlight cell C1, I can see C1 in my name box, C2, C3, C4. But if I highlight all of the items in the list, I can see the name Ford. And that's what we're looking for. So I'm going to do the same for Nissan. Enter. Opel. Enter. And Toyota. And enter. I also want to put my lists in alphabetical order so they're easier to read. So in my Ford list, I'll go to Data, Sort, make sure that I've ticked the box to say my data has headers, and I want to sort Ford by the values A to Z, which will alphabetize them. And then I can carry that through for all of the other makes. Now I'm going to go back to my stock worksheet, and in cell B2 I can enter my new dynamic drop-down list. So in my data tab still, I'm going to go to data validation. In my pop-up window, I'm going to select list. And in my source, I'm going to type into this field equals indirect. I'm going to open my bracket and I'm going to select the cell that has the relevant make for this model. So in this case, it's cell A2. And we have these dollar signs which make the cell absolute, and we don't want that for this drop-down list. So to remove it, I'm going to press F4 once, twice, 3 times, and I'm going to close my bracket. I'm going to click OK. And now I have a drop-down list here that has each of the Toyota models we have in stock. If I copy that down, in my Opel field, I have all of the Opel models. In my Ford, I have the Ford models, Nissan models, and so on. And it works in much the same way if you want to update your list. So we'll say, for example, we get a new car in Nissan, we'll call it a Micra. So like what we did for the simple drop-down list, I'm going to insert a new cell somewhere in the middle of my list. So here I've inserted it between the first and the last item, and we'll say it's a Micra. Now that means our list is in alphabetical order, but if it wasn't, you could re-alphabetize it. I'm going to go back to my stock, and in my Nissan drop-down list, I can now find Micra. So we can use these dynamic drop-down lists now to populate these cells. So I've Toyota. That is how we create dynamic drop-down lists in Excel. So have a go, see how you get on. Let me know if you have any questions, and I'll see you on the next tutorial where we look at the other elements of this worksheet. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. See you soon.